Hi, I'm Anna Helman. Thanks so much for being here. Sometimes thinking outside of the box can help us to create really stunning cards with no extra work at all. Today we're thinking outside of the box by creating some cards in black and white that might surprise you for some occasions that you might not normally think about making cards in black and white. Next time you're making a card, think about doing it in black and white. Try it out and see how it turns out. Now, I hope you'll watch along with me to see how this card comes together. It turns out really stunning, and I'm using a really simple fun fold design that I think you may enjoy learning about. Let's get started. I want to mention that my inspiration for today's project and all of the fun samples I'm going to show you at the end, so I hope you'll stick around for those. But my inspiration for this came from designer paper. So this right here is a designer paper pack for fall. It's called Rustic Harvest, and I definitely would not normally think about black and white for fall, but I think you're going to love what I create. So I wanted to share, this is that pack that inspired me for today's card. Here's another one called Black and White Designs, and there's one more I will share several cards with at the end that I have been loving. It's not all black and white, but it's all plaids and checks, and it has lots of neutrals in here. But this one is called Gingham Cottage. I've been getting tons of use out of that. Now let me share with you what we need to create today's project. This is going to be a card that's a little bit smaller than a traditional A2 size card. Sometimes I really like smaller cards. They're just a little bit different, a little bit special, and they're little and cute, right? So the base of this measures 3 3/4 by 5. The base of our card does not fold. That piece is flat. Then we have a piece of designer paper that measures 4 3/4 by 8 1/4. This is scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. If you don't want to have to write all these measurements down, there's a link in the video description below. You can go to my website and find these measurements there. We have a matte piece for the front. This measures 3 by 3 1/4. Now I created this out of vellum. I really love the look of vellum on my projects because it allows some of the pretty things in the background to show through, but it also sets off whatever you're going to put on top of it, which I really wanted to stand out. So it's a piece of vellum, and I embossed it with the quatrefoil embossing folder. I did emboss this base piece. Can you see that? It has wood grain. I used the timber embossing folder on that. And then this piece for the inside, this measures 2 1/2 by 4 1/2. So this is going to come together really, really quickly, and then I get to show you the exciting part, which is how I am going to decorate it. So the piece of designer paper, I have folded it here to look like a Z, and we're going to attach it with the end piece right here on the right side, and then one of the the edge of the piece on the left, and then the fold is over here on the right. So I'll flip this over, put some adhesive on the back. And anytime you're attaching anything over a piece that is embossed, you definitely want to use plenty of adhesive. But again, I'll show you this one more time, how I am attaching this on here. But I'll just lay it flat to be able to press it down. And I want to attach this. I don't always like things to be balanced or symmetrical. So we're going to attach this over here at the right side with the extra black showing on the left side. Now I'm going to place the piece of vellum over top. There's several ways you can attach vellum to projects. For this one, I am going to keep my adhesive behind the focal point of the card, which will be going on here in a second. But you do have to be careful about what adhesive you use to make sure it doesn't show through. But I know that all of this center section will be covered up. So this is what I do quite often, is I just keep my adhesive behind wherever I'll be able to cover it up. You do want to make sure you do not put any adhesive over here on the left side, because that would seal your card shut and you wouldn't be able to open it up. Okay, so here you can see how it will be opening. Let's go ahead and put this piece on the inside. And because we're creating this for fall, I am going to decorate it a little bit. It's always fun to have a decorated inside of my card. So I use some lighter ink. I use some smoky slate, and that will lighten up a little bit as it dries here. Let's attach this into the center, and then I'm really excited to show you how I am decorating the front of this. And I'm really excited for these samples I'll show at the end. I have several black and white card samples I want to show you, created for different occasions with different products. But there are a couple that I just think turned out stunning. So, okay, here is the base of our card. And here is how we are going to decorate it. I have created this super cute little glimmer pumpkin. The stamps and the dies came from the Hello Harvest bundle. Here are the stamps. I have used this set quite a lot. Fall is my favorite season of the year. There's the coordinating die set that I used to create this lovely die cut piece. And then I also created this with the bundle, wishing you the loveliest day. I have some dimensionals on the back on the sides. Since this is popped up here in the center, this will help this to sit flat in the center over that pumpkin, and the sides to be popped up a little bit. So what do you think about the black and white? I just love this. Black and white is not something I often think about doing, but when I do, I think I always love the results. So I may add a few pearls on here. When I'm making black and white cards, pearls are a really nice option to embellish them. And these are called matte black dots. I use these things a ton. And if you're interested in any of the products I'm mentioning, I will have links in the description below. But let's look at some other samples. Now, while I'm highlighting this Hello Harvest bundle, let me share with you a couple other projects that I created with it. One of them is black and white, and so here is another black and white card I created with the same bundle, same paper pack. I had an embossed piece in the background here with the leaf fall embossing folder, which is lovely. This one, I actually did not create that with glimmer paper. I die cut this piece out of glimmer paper, but this one I used our shimmery embossing paste, and I put that over a piece of regular cardstock, and then after it was dry, I stamped on top using my Stamparatus. So that was kind of fun. This one is partially black and white, partially not. This is something else you can try out, is to do black and white, but then have a pop of color. So I created this one with the same bundle, of course. Here's another card I made with that bundle that I thought I would share just since we are talking about this. But here is one more black and white with a pop of color I thought I would show while we're here. That's really fun. I can link to some of these tutorials for these other cards I'm sharing in the video description below, so keep that in mind. Now let's look at some completely different samples. Here is a really simple black and white slimline card. These are a fun change from doing regular size cards if you've never tried one. And yes, here is the stamps I used with a hope and prayer. So I thought this would be really nice. I really like the greetings in this set. Under his wings, you will find refuge. And then on the inside, you're in my prayers with the little decorations on the corner. So there's a black and white one to get you thinking. The cottage wreaths bundle, I have a couple to show you here. So here is a really simple one that I created using that gingham cottage paper I showed you earlier, and just one stamp of that wreath with some black ink and one little tag for the greeting. But I just love the way this looks. These would be really simple cards to create for Christmas if you're interested in something like that. Here is another one I created that's similar. I did a farmhouse style cards tutorial a while back. Like I said, I'll link to these in the description, but this was one of those. It was really fun to create these. Here are a few of the others. Now these are not all black and white. Can you see that one? That one's all white, and you may or may not be able to see the greeting on it at the moment, but these were some fun ones with that cottage wreaths bundle. And last but not least, I'm going to share a card made by one of my dear friends, Sandy. She's one of my friends and team members, and this is an absolutely stunning black and white card created with this piece to use stamp set. And I'll hold it up here close so that hopefully you can see. We have several specialty papers on here. This has all been embossed with black embossing powder. We have some, I believe, pearlescent paper behind here. Here is some designer paper with foil accents. Down here we have some glimmer paper. Sandy, you did an amazing job on this card. If I haven't already told you, this is absolutely beautiful. But since we're talking about black and white, I just had to share this. So thanks so much for watching along. I hope you'll try some black and white on some of your projects in the future. If you saw any products you're interested in, take a look using those links below. I appreciate you watching along. If you're new, I hope you will subscribe. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to hand make with love.